Now, fans that either sold their tickets or whatever, all of a sudden an emphasis is starting to get thrown onto the tickets where people believe she will be playing. And that's starting to make the ticket prices go up, and up.
Because ticket prices are growing like she's drinking threes on the moon, the Fed may need to intervene. Audience, fans, breaking records, and kidney auctions for courtside seats. What kind of magic is this? Is she a mix of Taylor Swift, LeBron, and Steph Curry? Caitlin Clark's recuperation from her injury sparked all of this mayhem.
In fact, ticket sales are down 70% in many places. The Fever played the Mystics 2 nights ago. The cheapest ticket before her injury was announced was $41, okay? The cheapest one. After her injury was announced and people knew that she wasn't gonna be playing, the lowest ticket price dropped to $3. This is the Caitlin Clark effect. The WNBA still doesn't quite realize what they have in Caitlin Clark. She is the absolute golden goose, the golden ticket. She is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. They must protect her at all costs.
Caitlin Clark is more than just a basketball dribbler. She's dribbling egos, media narratives, and financial statements. Furthermore, without realizing it, the WNBA is being dumped. Let's be honest. There are Caitlin Clark before and after photos. The price of the tickets was set before she came. They're stealing her money and heading straight to the luxury tax bracket after her.
Don't hate the player, hate the game she got, because she's really talented, especially for being Palangi, She's like the Stephen Curry of WNBA with the threes and stuff. Proven fact is, they had a game on June 7th scheduled, it was going to be Ada Reese's team, which she plays for Chicago, and then for Caitlin Clark's team. They were supposed to go up there playing Chicago on June 7th. First, the ticket sales were at $76 a ticket. Then after they found out Caitlin Clark's not playing that game, she got injured, sales dropped to $25 a ticket.
What's actually going on is the WNBA veterans collapse energy. It appears they did not read the script, which reads, larger audience equals more money and equals chill out. Caitlin Clark's effect extends beyond her 30-point accomplishment. I'm afraid it is larger. It's everywhere. The arena now resembles oxygen. Even when she is not playing, the numbers continue to grow. Sales of products are up. Higher television ratings. The crowd reacts as if she's Taylor Swift at an NFL game, exacerbating security officers' anxiety. This is the worst part. Several WNBA players appear to prefer defending a fast break without shoes over acknowledging it. One would expect the league to give special treatment to someone who is essentially bringing the entire organization into the spotlight, much like an ESPN point guard on a mission. However, the other players are acting as if Caitlin walked up and stole their endorsement contracts and lunch money.
70% in many places. The Fever played the Mystics 2 nights ago. The cheapest ticket before her injury was announced was $41, okay? The cheapest one. After her injury was announced and people knew that she wasn't going to be playing, the lowest ticket price dropped to $3. This is the Caitlin Clark effect. The WNBA still doesn't quite realize what they have in Caitlin Clark. She is the absolute golden goose, the golden ticket. She is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. They must protect her at all costs. You can argue all you want if she's the best player in the league, but you absolutely cannot argue if she's the most important, because she is. She is more valuable than all the other players combined, and that is just a fact.
Strangely, the impact continues to erupt on her off nights. The arena is still full, and she isn't dressed. People appear to have come to see if she'd show up. Is anyone else receiving that? Not the players who post passive-aggressive Instagram stories about showing respect to veterans. Yes, we respect you, but we also respect the 2.5 million people who witnessed Caitlin being triple-teamed at half-court. It appears that some players are unable to comprehend that Clark is not their opponent. Their lift is her. However, rather than riding, some are attempting to cut the cables. At first glance, everyone is welcome to join the league. However, there are also remarks about rookies having to earn it, side eyes, and body checks. Yes, January. Apparently, being the sole reason your upcoming game airs on national television for the first time in 12 years is not part of earning it. In overtime, the veterans' jealousy is louder than a buzzer beater. Ironically, diva behaviors aren't even the main focus of Caitlyn's game. She is not requesting preferential treatment. She looks to be utilizing GPS to feel her shot chart as she fires off logo threes out here. Meanwhile, some players are more concerned with safeguarding the league than with changing the rules.
WNBA is now suffering a major injury as Caitlin Clark is going to be out for 2 weeks with a quad injury. And the reason we're bringing this up specifically is the Clarkonomics effect to this. Obviously, players miss time all the time, but the Sky and the Fever were supposed to play in Chicago in about a week on June 7th. The opening ticket price was $86 because you have the Angel Resource Caitlin Clark Showdown that is now box office. Yeah, those tickets are now down to $25. Down to $25 after the injury announcement. And it's supposed to take place in the Bulls Arena, the United Center, as opposed to the normal Wintrust Arena. That's about a 12,000 seat difference, give or take. So
the media circus then begins because, of course, as soon as Clark touches the ball, there are full-fledged breakdowns, foaming commentators, and camera angles that could easily be drones. National Geographic and ESPN are collaborating to follow Caitlyn in her natural hardwood habitat. As the league's social media presence rises, casual fans start discussing zone defense on TikTok. The athletes should be celebrating the exposure with champagne, right? Rather, we're hearing peripheral statements such as, "She hasn't proven herself yet." "She has demonstrated more in 15 minutes than other teams have in 15 seasons, girl." Then there is the phenomenon of non-gaming. People still pretend that Caitlin Clark is going to sprint through the tunnel even though she doesn't play. Outside the venue, scalpers are swarming like if she were Coachella's headline act. However, during the Obama administration, several teams haven't drawn that amount of attention. All of a sudden, though, the absence of one teenager stands up more than the entire starting lineup for the home team. And yet, the opposition endures. Players behaving like Clark invented attention with a flurry of tweets, cryptic statements, and locker room shade. She is simply a novice. Okay, but she's also a rookie who has filled more seats than you have in your past 3 postseason runs.
Turns out she's human after all, Dan. She's going to be out for at least a couple of weeks, it appears.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about Caitlin Clark? Remember last year, she played in the Final Four. Right after that, she went immediately to the WNBA draft game, season started, and, didn't miss a beat. And all of a sudden, she got a little rest and comes back, gets a little banged up. I heard you talking about it earlier, and it's going to be fascinating to me, Ricky. I've been to Fever games, and the one thing you notice, and this is more so than even when Peyton Manning was the quarterback of the Colts.
There is plenty of cognitive dissonance. Examples include, "Yeah, we understand. The WNBA has its superstars. It's always been. If Diana Taurasi elbowed a brick wall, the latter would most likely apologize." However, Clark has a quality that extends beyond basketball. Cultural velocity. Tiger did the same thing that Serena did. It's that odd lightning in a Gatorade bottle that can't be replicated, coached, or taught. Nobody is suggesting that she is perfect. Clark commits turnovers, is blocked, stripped, and has a tendency to make mistakes. Twitter explodes when she takes on leadership roles. When she gets her hip checked, there will be a lot of talk on sports radio. 5 websites ask whether she is wounded when she scratches her nose. Power is exactly that. She deserved it not because she asked it. She sparked, not just showed up. And rather than trying to negate that energy with forced elbows and salty pushes, the league would be wise to stifle it. Rather, some players are seeking to make her feel inferior, as if this were a natural progression. This is not a sorority, girl. It is a firm. Furthermore, Caitlyn's sales presentation is currently the best the league has seen since its inception.
Word to describe Caitlin Clark.
Amazing. A beast. She is the truth. She's the truth, and she was a rookie. Knock down the three-pointer, get to the rim. She can get to the free throw line. She's crafty.
Yeah, very crafty.
Crafty, so sometimes she look like she's coming off for a three-point shot, and she backdoors you for a layup. She gets her teammates involved. She can pass, she can shoot. Man, she is the complete...
The true drama is that individuals outside the WNBA circle are starting to notice a change in her treatment. Is this how we manage the athlete that draws millions of fans to the sport? Apparently so. If you're still over the fact that you didn't make the Nike deal shortlist. The terrible part is that this should be the simplest alley-oop in league history. Use the increased attention to promote each player, boost jersey sales, gain larger TV contracts, and advance the game. Rather, half of the league acts as if Clark's victory was an invasion rather than a revolution. The league gets more attention every time she plays or doesn't play. However, some players are more concerned with gatekeeping than with leaving a legacy, which is bad since if egos didn't try to play full court and strive for development, this might be a golden period. As a result, despite her inexperience, Caitlin Clark already has the ball, the media's attention, and around $50 million in market impact. The Caitlin Clark influence is tremendous, whether she's swishing logo 3ES or simply sitting on a seat with a Gatorade. The league can choose to embrace it or fall behind in the process.
Crazy was this season versus the seasons past.
Our jersey sales were up 1,193%. The Caitlin Clark effect is real, and we're thrilled about it. But it brought visibility to the whole team of the Fever and to the WNBA. But if we just want to keep it in Indiana, we look at ticket sales sold out every night, over 17,000 fans in our games at home. When Caitlin announced that she was coming out into the draft, on a Thursday afternoon. From that time to Sunday night, we had over 6,000 phone calls, people wanting to buy season tickets. But even something as simple as our terrific mascot, Freddie Fever, his appearance request went up 150% this season. So you talk about the Fever, the team, which is what we've been working on.
You're not just watching a game. You're witnessing a shift when the crowd cries louder during warm-ups than during tip-off. Caitlin Clark did not break the WNBA. She just served as a reminder to everyone of the potential size. And it sounds like a tough pill to swallow when you thought your agency was the only one with that kind of clout. As if things couldn't get any more ridiculous, WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert begins acting as if she personally slam dunks the league into widespread fame. Sis now offers how I say
Engelbert is singing a different tune this season about Caitlin Clark. Now, we know last year she was talking about all of the other rookies being included in this, making a difference, being able to help contribute to the Big Bang of the WNBA. This time around, she's owing it all to Caitlin Clark. Me personally, I told y'all this at the beginning of the month. The chickens was coming home to roost for the WNBA, because I'm telling you right now, there has been a lot of spooky things going on, and people.
In her naivete or in her delusion, she takes credit for it. Instead of saying it's because of Caitlin Clark, instead of saying it's because of the person from Iowa, instead of saying it was because of her, Kathy says, oh, it's all me. My strategy, my plan, my 3 pillars. In this entire article, Kathy Engelbert mentions Caitlin Clark's name 2, maybe 3 times. Angel Reese's name once. Cameron Briggs' name once. Let's get right into it, because this article, from start to finish,
Supporters, well, I think this pretty much closes the book on its Me Too. They're tuning in for Me Too. Oh, the WNBA's not going to like that. All those Angel Reese trolls online that are trying to come for me and other YouTube channels, y'all aren't going to like this. Good. Too bad. I mean, it's more statistical proof, data, to confirm exactly what we've been saying, that Caitlin Clark is driving this whole ship, this whole bus. She's driving it. Everybody else